Check, 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 check. Okay, what we got? Anybody? Shows that I'm on. Shows that that's good. Check, check, check on mic. All right. Anybody there? Yeah. Damn it. Yo, hey, man. Loud and clear. Oh, good, 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 good. Okay, I'm finally figuring out OBS. I've done it wrong so many times. I finally got it, I think. Oh shit! Would one of you guys post it for me wherever? Oh, wherever we do it. And I think we're okay here. I think so. Yo, yo, yo. Okay, so as soon as I get a few people on here after you post it, kind of a volatile open here, trying some new things today. Yazir. Oh, okay, good. Okay, so let me hang on. God damn it. It's brutal for me with the allergies. I gotta confess, it's when it's damp like it is here now. I mean, I'm gonna move. I have no choice. Okay, let's go ahead and start recording. So I guess I can get this out of here, and I can get the Discord up over here. Okay, good. It's sound online is good. Sound is good. Okay, so it should be online. Yazir Bashir. Man, that's a cool name. Yazir Bashir. Nice rhyme to it. Okay, I think we're good here. If you guys are telling me we're good. Oh, Roman K. All right. Pink hands. All right. Am I in the picture here? Yeah. You stream bait. No, I don't know if I'll deal with it. Okay. Hey, Grumpy. Grumpy OGPA. Is that price action? Okay, good to go. All right, guys. So, damn it. Hang on. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to deal with this. You would not believe what I go through on a daily basis. Okay, let's move off from that. All right, so I've been just testing out a couple of. It's not testing, just demonstrating things that we don't look at often here, just to keep mixing it up. Because I've got a footprint chart up, but we've got a pretty wide inventory of products. So I thought I would just kind of continue to expose you guys to maybe some things you hadn't seen. Hey, Art. So this, I've done two things here. One, kind of as a function, since we're doing a little testing with micros here, since we're, I think we were all bored to death by no trading, including me. Since we're working with micros here for live trading, I don't usually, I go back and forth, but since with a micro, you're eliminating all the short-term stuff. So even things like, second entries, sure, you can get a runner off of those, but what you're really looking for with micros are bigger swings. Well, how do we find bigger swings as day traders? Well, not Renko, but Heikin-Ashi is so similar to Renko. We can get some, here we're just looking at yesterday, something like that's 50 ticks. I mean, some of these moves are decent. So I thought I would do a little experimenting with this, and then other tools that we don't demonstrate often. So I've got a Cume Delta on here, which I'm sure you guys all are familiar with Cume Delta here. We'll let the market sort itself out here. Which I like, right? I mean, I like our Cume Delta that we have the contraction expansion feature through the Bollinger Bands. And then I've got down here, somewhere on the chart, I want to have a notification that we're in a squeeze. Because it's so consistent, right? I mean, I've done this 1,000 times, right? From contraction comes expansion, right? Contraction, expansion. It's incredibly consistent. Now, we had some news this morning, the retail sales. But this idea of identifying, okay, where do we contract, right? Anyone who was trying to trade yesterday afternoon, if you were trying to make your day in the afternoon, you didn't have any success. But there were some decent trends early in the day. So this is a 2000, which is kind of my go-to. I'm comfortable with the 2000 on the ES. Okay, so you had a nice downswing and you had an upswing, and in an effort to try and give us a more mechanical way to approach it rather than, white candles. This is our trailing stop indicator, which I think is an underappreciated. Now, there are variations of this. It's essentially, we call it a trailing stop, but really it's just an ATR tool, right? That's all. So I have this set. I reduced it. I did a little testing with it yesterday and last night. With Heikin-Ashi, we want to be fairly close to the price action here. So I'm using a 1 period ATR, and then I'm using 2.2 for the threshold. So we've got to go on a 1 period, right? It doesn't take much to flip it. So something like this, even here though, look how we stayed on the right side of the market here. Oh, what else do I have on here? Well, Devil's Edge, which I'm assuming you guys are familiar with. And since I'm using a tick chart, I go to the force. Now, if I was using a time-based, I might put on Devil's Volume. But again, it's some of it is just comfort level. 2000 is where I'm comfortable. I like the 2000 tick, so I go to a force, which is giving me kind of a proxy for delta. It lags like all indicators, but there are certainly... you can think of it more as confirmation. So if you're looking at something like this, right, you want to try and get in sync with everything. So when we're here, this would be the entry pivot that you might use. Well, now you kind of look below and say, cum delta, are we below the center line? We're still in the river on the edge, but look here at the force heading lower. How are we doing here? Mike is not working. Shit. Oh, fuck me, guys. Hang on a second. I have so much trouble with this. Check. It shows that it's working. Wait a sec. Can you hear me now? I'm speaking directly into the mic. Is that any better? Udi's ES? Everybody told me it was good. Art, Irwin, any of you guys? Is the audio right? Did I fuck it up? I might have. I can hear you. Okay, good. All right. So maybe it was just while I had it muted and you guys have a lag. I have to mute it periodically. Yazir Bashir. Okay, good. Can hear you fine. Okay, good. Okay, so where I was trying to go with this is, okay, how can we be a little bit more mechanical as would relate to a candlestick, right? So again, of course, I have a footprint chart up above. So when we get to a decision point, then I'll bring in the candlestick. So sitting right here as we look at this, okay, swing retrace. Now we're getting, with Renko bars, you're looking for one candle is not enough. In fact, the advantage of Renko bars is when you have a trend, it's the pause, right? That's the big hook as to why you might like. I keep saying Renko, Heikin-Ashi, right? It's this little pause here where we have indecision candles where we lose the. There's no shadow, as it's called with Heikin-Ashi. There's no shadow, right? And when we get shadows on both sides, okay, pause, right? Are we going back the other direction? That's the attraction to Heikin-Ashi. It's not so much look at everything's the same color. It's when everything's the same color, I get these little pauses which is an opportunity to participate in the trend. So, here we're sitting, we're still wrestling with all the vol from the retail sales. And what do we got here today? We got three Fed speakers. Great. Well, that's not ideal. And then the other thing I was trying to do was get you guys a little bit more, since I don't trade it, but you guys have been killing it. I don't trade it as often. I find it to be a bit more squirrely. So I thought I'd bring over the NQ. 1350. Oh, Ghost was talking about this yesterday. I get these numbers. There's a guy who's kind of, he's been an advocate for tick charts for years. I think his site is, what the hell is it? E-Mini Watch, I think it is. E-Mini Watch. And he's done a lot of research on this, and which is funny because it's the same thing that Ghost was posting yesterday for tick charts for the NQ, 450, 900, 1350. With the NQ, I like to, it's so squirrely to me, right? I'm amazed you guys are so successful with it, that I want to slow it down. And then when you're going to I'm going to say Renko all day. When you go to a Heikin-Ashi, you're looking for bigger swings here. In my view, right? That's how I would approach it. Because this with a micro, something like that, is that really tradable? You need something that sustains. So you're looking for locations. E-mini, no, I think it's the guy that I'm talking about is E-mini Watch, right? He actually is a TradeStation user. E-mini Mind he's also quite good. He's another disciple of David Halsey. It's good. Tim, right? He's quite good. He's got some interesting approaches, and he's trading measured moves, and he's got a few other things. He also is a Heikin-Ashi trader. Erwin has studied some of his stuff as well. It's good, right? It's pretty straightforward. He's got a few little special cases that he works with, a few setups that are uniquely his, and very much right what he's looking for. We do kind of the same thing, right? So if this breaks the golden zone on the retrace, in fact, Erwin built an indicator just for this, right? Do we break it here? This is I think that he was inspired by this. Do you guys see this indicator? Our toolbar is such an underappreciated asset. So here's the swing. If we break the golden zone, it's look at how perfect this. Jesus, I did not set this up. Look at that, right? So we break the golden. Let me tee it up for you here. So while it's wick only, but that's a pretty good break. Well, pardon me, it's wick in a Heikin-Ashi. You'd probably see a break in a straight candle. Well, there's the trade. Well, we come back to the next the opposite side golden zone. Well, here's right to target. Yeah, I mean, most of you guys probably aren't even familiar with this, right? You haven't seen it. So here would be another application, right? So we've broken the golden zone here, meaning that if we retrace, if we retrace down this way, there's the trade. This is such an underappreciated tool. It's the first thing I load to every chart. Price line and toolbar. That's it. All right, so let's look at this application here. So here's our open. All right, so did you want to was there any suggestion of going short here? So it's kind of like a moving average, but the goal of it is to kind of keep you on the right side of the market. And then if you're in a trade, this is a little more benefit of Heikin-Ashi, right? When you're in the trade, I said this yesterday, you need runners, right? It's almost a requirement for success as a day trader. You've got to have runners because you eat so many stops. So, excuse me. With that thinking, okay, we're trading micros. We're looking for extended runs. This was kind of the package that I was working on yesterday, thinking, all right, well, if I were tasked with, okay, you can only trade micros, here's what you're going to do. How would you approach it? What's the template you would set up? I think for the most part, this is me, that the NQ is more tradable with micros, right? So you can put a 5 lot on and you'll see the dollars move. Anyway, okay, so the other thing I have on here, so I got force, edge. This is just our zigzag histogram. So I'm looking, now there's a difference the way I have it set up here. This is set at a 14-period 2 ATR, which is also in sync with the market structure. So I want to see that. I want to see that little swing. And really what I'm looking for always is this kind of thing, right? So there's the little pullback. Now note here, we don't go beyond, right, our little ATR, we call it a trailing stop, but I think that's actually the wrong way to think of it. Right. Now, the other thing you can do here, I got to pay attention here. I'm missing the whole morning move. If you're in a trade like this, sorry guys. So maybe you did, you used the break here of structure here. So just a little change of character here. So we get into, here's a change of character down, change of character. So you're in this. Well, you might have depending on if you're trading multiples. Jesus, I'm going to get a trade on here soon. You might be trading multiples here, but one of the things that you can do so let's say, for example, this would be an easy assumption here. This is what I would do, right? Whenever I see one of these, right, I know that that's a substantial pivot. So that would have been a reasonable first target. That's the pre-market high, and then we've got a low volume node there. So a very reasonable first target. Oh, what do you got there? All right. So you got 61 ticks, right? Again, don't think about dollars and cents when you're trading micros, right? The idea is to work on your execution and money management, right? So if you're in that, now I can attach a stop to that line. I'm assuming many of you know that, but many of you may not. So I can just trail with the stop and it'll just stay with it. Right? It's another way back to this idea that we all need runners, right? And if you just leave it like, oh, okay, well, okay, that's enough. That's enough. Right? I mean, the thing can just continue. Like, wouldn't you have thought, oh, okay, 60 ticks, that's enough. All right, good trade. But we carry on here. So just to kind of I guess I'm trying to put a framework around what we're going to try and do here with some of these live streams. So I will continue to mix this up. So we feature some different indicators here. I just figured here's something we never look at that, I mean, it's a really useful indicator. Plus it's dirt cheap. So another one to consider for trial if you don't have something like this. We'll get a trade on here. Well, shit, right? Well, now it's hurry up and wait because I'm talking through the initial move. You kind of have a rally-base rally here. You can see rally, base, rally, right? And the whole time, right? You don't get caught out. So part of it is, okay, how do we get a little bit more objective rather than subjective into order entry? Can it be the change of character? Can it be this switch right here? You know, you have to recognize, of course, people ask me about this all the time, right? Wait a minute, that measured move thing seems so good, but I'm not making money with it, right? Well, remember, for every measured move that you see, right? So if I put the measured move indicator on, you're going to see nothing but successful measured moves. For every measured move that succeeds, there's one that fails. So you can certainly see how you we might have some here. We'll give it a sec. You can see how you might have been thinking, oh, well, there it is, right? There's the retracement to the golden zone. Well, of course I need to short this. Of course I do. Well, just slow down for a second, right? We got to be, right here. Does that look below, right? Does that look like, oh, geez, look at the color of the Heikin-Ashi candle, right? Does that look like a short? Maybe not, right? So there's a failed measured move. But, was it valid? If it succeeded, would you have been back here saying, well, obviously, right? That's why it was a measured move. But at the very least, you'd seen the candles flip. Now, the other thing you have to wrestle with here is that, so if I were going short here, I'm going to certainly counter trend. There's a little bit of judgment you have to make here, as in, okay, well, where am I here, right? Do I want to be shorting up here? Is there enough benefit here? Well, if I'm, obviously the trend is up. So you want to kind of combine, all right, what am I seeing in the very short term with what is the market structure telling me, right? Is there any confusion about where the trend is? Right? I mean, is that right? We don't need this to tell us the trend is up. Here's the last break of structure. Now, this is such an important point, and I almost feel like I need to go back and redo some of that content. Once we have the break of structure, the thinking is not, oh, great, break of structure, I'm long and strong. No, once we have the break in structure, we're just going to wait and anticipate the retrace. Now, we don't know that we would get this, but again, I often talk about visualizing the trade that you're looking for, right? So when it comes, you're ready for it. Okay, rally, base, rally. That's little kickers going off telling me that we just crossed that. Boy, if we came back here, well, wouldn't we? Of course, we'd be right in the discount zone, right? So here's the 50. So again, if you're just applying basic market structure, right, it's just as simple as it can be. Here's the swing, right? Here's the swing. We're in blue line the whole way. So if we're coming down, if we're coming to the discount zone, well, I'm kind of interested down here. So now note here, if we were chasing this, you'd have, here's your entry right here. Oh, I'm sorry. I should note here the little divots that are on here. These are fractals. I don't think we ever put these in the store, right? But this is a specialized fractal that Erwin made for me. We were testing something years ago, but I still use them, and they're useful. Big impulse move down. Yeah, I'm watching it on the footprint up above. These are useful because remember with Heikin-Ashi, what you want to avoid seeing is any kind of wick when it's running, right? So what it's going to tell me is like, if I get a fractal here, potentially you see them here where you have all of this indecision. If you're getting a fractal in a Heikin-Ashi, it could be, point of potential trend change. Or said differently, the move is starting to weaken because I'm not getting the one-sided shadow like you are in a move like this, right? You get a couple, now you start to see some wicks. Note here the candles get tighter and tighter, and there's the trend change. Now let's see if we can apply what I just rambled through, and see if there's a trade here. So would that be tradable? Okay. Now notice right off the bat, okay, I got to go right into the pre-high. I got to go right into this pivot, which was something from yesterday. I got to go right into a series of order blocks, fair value gaps, another order block, right? So there's plenty of resistance above, but so we want to look for, okay, do I want to buy right into that, right? There's a 50 golden zone. Okay, now we look down below. All right, well, this is a good sign. I'm not even in the river yet. Well, it's okay. So here, that's where, okay, decision point. Oh, shit. Let's see if I can. I wish I had more room here. I don't really have more room here. Okay, trend is still up, so we would be in sync with it. If I can. That's the MES. Shit, where do I have it? All right. Do we want, all right, so it's 1350, right? Same thing. Do we want to be going long right into this? You got kind of mixed signals here. What's the best way to do this here? Shit, I wish I had more screen space. Okay, right into it. If we shit, I need a bigger monitor. Okay, how am I going to do that? I do this. We have not had the flip there yet. Okay, so here, this is pause. Stacked imbalance.
Order filled.
Let's take too short there. This is our stop. So what I'm using, I'm using this value area here. Let's come right to that 50. First target, second target. Now, we're just a pivot off of this. This would be a reasonable target.
Target filled.
I'll tighten that up. Now, let's see. Shit, I don't really have it yet. I don't really have the flip yet to where I can attach what I wanted to show you. Let's go to break even. So what I try and do when I'm trading micros is try and trade it exactly like I would if it was full size, right? Now, if I was full size here, that'd be 160, 200 bucks. I'm going to be, tight on the money management because I know how quickly the NQ can turn, right? I mean, it turns in a hurry. Okay, so there, let's see if I can do it. Let me see if I can, I have to right click on it. I may not be able to get it. It's just a tiny little line there. Let me get stopped out before it finds me. I'll do it when I've got a little more space to work with. I'm going to attach you right there. I think you have to right. God damn it! I thought I had to right click. Shit. There's a way to do it. No, I can't get it. I don't think I have enough room there. What am I doing wrong? Or what I think there's a. I always did it this way. I have to attach. Son of a bitch. Shit, I guess I've forgotten. Or maybe I have to hotkey it. Shit, I can't remember. Okay, so I did get the arrow here. Now, but this, okay, we came right back to the base, right? So I'd be mindful of the fact that this could kick. So I'm going to go to the other side of that little doji candle. Let's let it go here, right? This looks like a reasonable place where you'd anticipate a bounce. But God damn it, I know there's a way to do it. And I can't remember. I do it here? I'll be damned. Can't remember. Can't remember how to do it. I think I used to hotkey it because I used to do this all the time. Shit, so why it's been since I used it, right? So again, for me, it's the same kind of thing. let's mix it up and show some other tools, because there's many people that have purchased this and like, I purchased that trailing stop thing. I never see you using it. Well, doesn't mean it's not a quality indicator. Now we asked him for too much, so look where we're bouncing here, right? So this should be not much surprise that's where we're going to bounce.
Stop filled.
All right, so out we go there. All right, decent. Okay, we're right to where you. Let's go over here to see how we like it. All right, so there's a decent example of why take the trade, right? So this is right out of the video I did last week, right here, right? In fact, I think Art, it was you who was asking about this yesterday as an approach to trade the value areas. I couldn't support that idea anymore, right? I mean, there's a good example. Did we get a lot from it? No, but decent 70 ticks, right? Full size. That's going to be a little bit meatier. Now we come back to another value area. This looks better here, but you can see why, right? So we had the exhaustion print. You had the imbalance. You had a zero prints in here. Do you see the zero prints? So that came down hard. So that was, you got, sometimes, you get in and thing will go back right the other direction. But here, all of this confirmation that we get underneath the McGinley, this looks like we've hit just where you'd expect it, right? So, don't want to go long there. Let's take a look. Trend is up. We bounced exactly at the 50. Like, I can't script that shit, right? Okay, that's 50 to the tick right there. So there's the trade you're envisioning. Now, I'm a little late here. I don't know that I want to buy right into that pre-market high. So then I'm going to look up above. That's MES here. So I look at that again, kind of visualizing. What would I like to see here? I'd like to see that. Here's you can still, right? Still draw channels here. Here's the down channel. Here's the break. Here's the move to a new extreme. So, the price action rule is satisfied there. Trend change. I wouldn't buy right into the pre-high because that's algo thick. It's just, you trade this long enough, that's where they camp out there. There's just not enough room, and I don't like, so there'd be another 50, another golden zone. These little micros will fuck you, so be careful with those. You got to be careful about buying right into them. Now, you've got a decent, right? You got a nice setup here in terms of what you want to see in Heikin-Ashi candle. Note below, no fractals. So there's been strength in this piece of the move. Let's get over to let's look over here, because we know we're kind of in this. Here's the zone we're in, kind of chop zone. Here's the pre-high. I got, which is right. All of this, right? Has not been traded through. I think, Erwin, if you're still on, we got a comment yesterday, a guy saying, hey, I want, people are funny. I was going to buy your footprint indicator. This is a YouTube comment. When I did the video on these, but you don't offer, what did he want? He wanted it on close, right? So that this would only disappear if the candle closed above it. And both Aaron and I kind of thought, well, wait a minute. You've got broken or until tested. Well, broken would be kind of the same thing. I don't know if the guy bought it or not, but what a silly reason to not take advantage of that special. All right, let's see what happens here. Now, remember, you gotta. Well, how's the algo looking at it? Right, that should help you a little bit. Now, here's what it'll do. It'll be sure that you don't overtrade because there's an algo everywhere. So you got to look for those. Well, you can just look at it right here. Where would there be room if we could get there? Right? No defense there. That's often. So my thought when I see that, my thought is, if we can get up here, this is where I want to be aggressive because I have no algo fighting me here. Now, how could I end up with an algo fighting me here if we do this, right? And now I'm going to have one there, right? And I'll have one right there looking for that. But at first glance, when I look here, hey, I got headroom up here. Often you'll see me post no headroom above or headroom below. Let's take advantage of it. Yeah, let's okay. Let's get over here. Shit, it's hard to talk and it's hard to trade at the same time. It actually is. As you get to rambling. Okay, here looks like a big consolidation box. Oh, what's reasonable target? We got here. Which indicator are you using for levels? For levels, Yasir, when you are you talking about? You need to tell me what levels you mean. Are you talking about market structure levels, or the IB levels, or the fib levels, or the? I'm not sure which levels you mean. Okay, now, no, remember, trend is still up. We're still in an uptrend per market structure. So bouncing here, okay, all right. So can you say maybe we're in sort of a trading range? What'd you say? Pre-high, internet high. Okay, so the pre-high, all of that stuff is the initial balance indicator, Yasir, if I'm saying that right. That's all. So if the initial balance here, I have here, if I just get, let's go all days. Pre-market on off, right? Do you see I'm turning the pre-market on off? Now, if you're trading in RTH, right, you don't need it, right? You're going to see it. But since I'm trading tick charts. Not always, but predominantly. Okay, let's see. Now, don't forget, you got a big golden up here. Right, just like these people, did they forget there's a 50 there and that there was a pivot there and that the pre-market high was there? I mean, did they forget? Or did they just not know? Or did they say, looks like a strong break? Or did they not know the price action rule? Like, why someone buying there? Yeah, I mean, there has to be someone on the other side of your trade. This looks like trading range here on 1350. Let's get over here and see if we're getting overlapping value areas. Okay. And then I think, would I be trading this differently if I weren't live stream? I always try in the back of my head saying, am I avoiding trades here, or am I too conservative? I think we've ascertained that we probably don't have much issue with people trying to copy this, since there's a 30-second delay, we were always a little concerned here. Now, one thing to keep in mind here, since I have market structure on this, the internal swing structure here I think is quite handy to have here. So I know if I break here, well, here's the trader's conundrum, right? If we break here, there's in the SMC space, there's a common refrain that goes around: if you don't know where the liquidity is, you are the liquidity. So can we all agree there's likely stops down here? I think so, right? We can probably agree to that. Probably some stops up here. Now, given this, what do we have here? This is basically rotation. So this does give you, since we're kind of going back and forth here, since we have Heikin-Ashi on the 2000, looking for, trying to catch some trends. This is not Heikin-Ashi, right? Obviously, but I do like to do this, right? Say, okay, if I was looking at just my 2000, well, here's my 21 McGinley, right? Do I want to be longing here? This looks to me like we're just kind of in a big old trading range, right? Even if you did it like this, right? So this is McGinley sideways. What advantage do I have here? All right, I don't get much benefit from the tick here. I do have Bookmap over here. Let's take a peek. So this looks like we're contracting. So this is likely a squeeze. Are we gonna squeeze? No, we're not yet. I'm curious, right? Would any of you guys trade that? I wouldn't. If anything, right, the only way you can approach this is you could sell the highs by the lows, because your stop would be so tight right now. But are you throwing a trade away? Could you justify it? Right? So if you were reviewing at the end of the day and you're going through your trading journal and you bring this up, like, would you, even if you get something that moves out of here, Really, was there a setup there? Is there something that you spotted here that you said, oh, I see it, I've got an edge? This is just rotation. Now, this very well could be. Not, right? We've got all these Fed speakers. I think I don't have. Well, this would be interesting. All right, so if we pop here, we've just got that little micro to get through. So here's where I would go to a footprint. All right, is that a liquidity grab? Something more meaningful, looking a little bit better. All right, so instinctively, my first thought is to sell it. But that's a pretty good bar. That's a pretty good push. There's the, so I just hear that. I know we just crossed the, hearing that, I know we just crossed over here by that sound. It's not really a, if you're going to use Heikinashi, you want to try and use the color candle, for lack of a better way, or what you've got here. So I've got strong bars here with no shadow underneath. So not a, oh, I got to sell that bar. Right now, is it a breakout bar? Okay, what's up next? Right, first thing we got to hit clear is that. You can see it over here. How do we deal with that? So this one down here likely getting its target. Would you sell it? It's kind of like maybe if I, would I do it in full size? Probably not. Micros, I could have, right, thrown one in there just to see what happens, but I'm not trying to demonstrate, let's trade because we're bored. It's usually not a good idea. This is all just rotation, right? Rotation, a little push here. Just what likely, you got to look for this. What likely just happened up here, right? Stops. Same thing down here. What likely just happened down here? This is the curse of the live stream. Often we get this kind of action. Curious, how many of you guys think that the threat of default is getting to be more substantial? Because if we get a little closer to it, you're going to see some massive volatility. It's so funny. Volatility is always just the pleasantry for extremely down, an extreme move down. Well, we've noticed volatility in the market. Right? If it's going extremely higher, that's never volatility. Well, the market looked good today, right? Bulls were in control. We go down, extreme volatility today. Okay. If you can't spot the liquidity, you are the liquidity. Do we know what's going on here in the NQ? Let's get over to the ES. See how we're looking over there. NQ is in rotation. Okay, so give me a second here to get out of that. What do I have here? Here's the ES. Okay, 2000. Let's see how we're looking here. Here, I think I have on this one. I have low impact as well. Okay, what are we doing here? Let's get the ES up on Bookmap. Let's see some size down at 4130. What time is it? 10:09. So the IB is not really in play yet. Well, so if anything, you could be short here. But I don't like to sell into the low of the day personally. Could it fly? Yeah, it could. It's not the IB, but you are, again, if you don't know where the liquidity is, you are the liquidity. You want to take that? Let's see. Where do I have the ES up here? I do. Okay, well now, at least with the ES here, we can use the tick. We got kind of a neutral tick, so you're getting no edge here. It doesn't mean this can't fall through the floor. 3 big delta negative bars here. So now a little bit of divergence here, and we're not to the other side. So if we stay in the river, yeah, the devil's edge can be a great proxy for trading range. Now I do use this on a 162. I don't use it 2. Because I don't want it to be as hard to get out. So when we're in a trend like this, note here in the downtrend, we didn't get any gap. That's really what you're looking for, is that gap, the strength the most. So we're pushing past the Bollingers. Divergence. Oh, where's my? We're getting down here, right? Now remember, any kind of a tick play is really a scalp, right? You're looking for the market to compensate, right? So as the buy program, or in this case, the sell programs take some profit on the stocks that they're trading, it's a scalp. Right now we're trading micros, so you got to change your approach a little bit. But what I would deduce from this is, okay, well, the tick is pushing negative 700. That's not a great time to be selling, right? I mean, you're kind of late for the sell. Right? Do you want to be selling down there, because you're very vulnerable to this thing kicking back? So here was the switch right here. So there's kind of a decent, I don't know if this appeals to you guys or not, but kind of a mechanical. Should that have been right? That's the low of the day here, and so it's not a trade that I would take. But you can see some of these playing. So what am I looking for? Well, if you're not taking that, what the hell do you want? I want that. I want that. That's what I want. Right? I'm a retracement trader. So here's the. Oh, you could look at a swing retrace, right? We get a new low here, swing retrace. The other thing it's a good idea to do, because you'll see this happen with really remarkable regularity here, is that you'll get 100 and you get a reversal. Now, if it doesn't reverse, I did a whole video on this. If it doesn't make the 100, right? I think this is a big part of how this was identified, right? If we don't make the 100, something else was going on.
Yes, sells 1,000.
Now maybe we make the 100. There's an iceberg hitting, right? Which is usually, as soon as I hear that and I see it's an iceberg sell, I want to buy it, because it's likely a head fake. That was, well, there was a sweep in that. Got their ES. All right, let's see what happens. So here's the little pause. Here's the little pause that we're talking about. Let's see how we look there. Let's go ahead and take. Oh shit! I don't know why.
Order filled.
It's not. I want to get on the other side of that. All right. So let's see if we can get to the 100. That's what I'd be going for. And I'm just keying out. So I can't get you to the footprint here real quick. Let's see if we can get a little further down on that. I got a little headroom here. We got two candles here. Stops about right. Again, it's not about dollars with micros. It's about execution. Okay, could I do the same thing? Is that a reasonable target? We're coming back too far. I'm going to go just on the other side because that's my internal high. So if we kick back the other way, I'd have a change of character going the other direction. So the risk here is very small, which is kind of the attraction of micros. It just takes all the stress out of it, so we can just focus on technique. I would still look for that, because if we break this channel, if we break out of it, I would still be looking for another swing. Double bottom. There's size in the book there. That might be bouncing off of that. Yeah, they did. Okay, so you can see there's a 200 lot down here that just came in. It's not enough to, you don't want to, with micros, the other benefit of micros is you just let the trade play, right? Well, if you get stopped out here, okay, it's not going to ruin your day. Now, the other thing we could do, although it's too far, I wouldn't do this, right, is attach it here. Although I swear to God, there's a way to do that, and I can't remember how to do it. To attach it, God damn it, I can't remember how to do it. Attach. I gotta get Erwin to show me how to do it. I've forgotten. It used to be you just right click here, and it would give you the option. It may be an option I have to set up. Excuse me. Okay, so let's watch it here as well. All right, is there anything here? Okay, we would need to break this. Now I could tighten up here on the other side of those POCs. If it was full size, that's likely what I'd do. Get on the other side of those continuous POCs right here, because if we're coming back this way, keep the hit impact here really modest. It's 10:15. How are we looking here? There's room, right? You can consider 1,200 about as far as they ever go. This could be consolidation here. That wick, right? So it had the opportunity to go lower, it didn't. And there's meat in the book at 27 right here, which is low of the day, and that's a right. Now, it wouldn't be a reversal in my book. It would just be like, okay, we didn't get legs on it. Now, if you get a different color here, then you're pretty much likely the trade's over. We're still outside of the river. Now that's gone positive, right? So that would be
Order filled.
So all of the conditions that supported it now evaporating. So if we get a retrace, though, I'd be interested in going again. Note we didn't make the 100. You want those to make the 100 and then start looking. Okay, so for the retrace, that's a big kick. Right, you could kind of, well, that's actually a good example for any of you. I know some of you now. Why was it Art or I can't remember who it was yesterday said they had switched to Heikinashi and they were really happy with the results. When you see wicks on both sides, that's kind of the tell. Like, okay, whatever this move is that was so strong here, at least you're pausing in that. Buyers are coming into the market, and you can see them show up. Right? Very counter trend. No reason to be long yet, but the party on the short is likely run its course here. What are we back into? You could pretty much call this just another trading range as we consolidate here. It's not a squeeze yet. I spend about 85% of my time on the candles, and when I get to do I want to short that, then I go to the footprint. It's kind of a good example here where when it's coming down like this, you don't want to see fractals underneath, right? Note here, when we see fractals underneath, when it's going, you want no fractals. 15 point up for now. Run. Oh, good for you. I'm short 41. Good for you, Art. So you must have taken something early. Okay, so we could, let's demonstrate this again. This is an underappreciated tool. All right, so here's well, you kind of have it, right? He may have made this for people that don't use the autofibs, but because the autofibs are going to replicate this anyway. All right, so I don't know if you guys see this here. So here's the swing. If we break here it is in the autofibs, and then we come back down, here it is in the autofibs, right? So if you didn't know that, right, or if you didn't have autofibs, this is a proxy for that. I was short from 41.41. God, Art, and you're trading with Renko, if I'm not mistaken, Art, which is this similar, right? You're trying to get that sustained move in Renko. I just, when the volatility got this high in the ATR, so you're looking at 18, 45 in the NQ. I just think the risk is because you can't see intra-bar. Maybe, I guess if you're using them with the footprint, that can be useful to try and get into those trends, but the intra-bar look brutal. Okay, so the trend is still down. We've just had a bullish chalk. So Jesus, where's my break of structure? Where are you? No, I have my problems here. I've got the same color. Here's the chalk. So where's our break of structure? Let's see it. Okay, with this, okay, that's footprint time. Do it right. Three powerful bars, right? Got a fair value gap below. Now here comes some sellers, right? Right in this exact spot where you'd anticipate they'd show up. Now can they turn it? We're about to flip. Remember that's 2.2 a 1 period ATR. Look below. Where's the tick? Tick is neutral, right? So it's no real benefit to us. Ideally, you get this waffling. You could take this right here because the stop would be so tight, but you're going right into a fair value gap. So you have imbalance here. So the strength is on display here. You'd be selling right into that. Now you're into the pre-low again, algo thick. I wouldn't. I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying I wouldn't. So if you were to flip the ATR, what are we going to call it? An ATR marker. You're flipping right into the pre-low, right into all this consolidation. I wouldn't do it myself. But if anything, I like the idea of the short. But I got to get something to set up. A wick, right? Some indecision. You're seeing it over here. I don't have a change of character, so it would have to be coming down. There's really nothing there to work with, other than a prior low pushing in the river on the other side, right? So everything is saying up. That's good. If I didn't have this, I would like it a little bit better. Still very, very bullish here. A little higher, maybe. So I look at that, and what I see is if I'm short coming into this, the fair value gap, again, this is just me, I'd want to have some headroom into it. Because right now, wouldn't your anticipation be, well, here's the last strength that I can see here on 2000 tick is right here. So do I want to short into that strength? Maybe not. You got to appreciate lower low, lower high, lower low. So far, lower high. There's nothing there to play off of other than, okay, I'm just shorting it because I have a hunch. Okay, well, let's see how it responds here at the fair value gap. Trend is down, but the last thing we've had is a bullish chalk, right? So the trend remains because lower low, lower high. And the last thing we had was the bullish chalk right here. So retrace, right? Same thing with a chalk. You'd anticipate a retrace. Now, how far do we go? Let's watch on this side. It's right to a 50, right? So you can see the algo at work here. And there it is. Now how do we deal with this? Let's see what happens here. Right to the 50, right? Now just an algo battle. You give the advantage to the bears, but you're right in the middle of that fair value gap. Yeah. Oh, I guess there was a scalp, but if you're trading full size, you had 11 ticks there. Okay, reaction doesn't mean it can't break, but if you were short here and you saw the reaction there, would you be adding? Maybe not. Right, now that means that this algo, right, which has been consistent, right, the whole way down, right? This is a measured move, this is a measured move, and we didn't get the 100 here. So the algo is in charge. Maybe if we break that. Let's see, tick is neutral. And you got, again, there's a good example of it, right? So it doesn't mean that can't roll over. It's just that's why you would pause. Do I want to sell right into that strength there? Maybe, maybe not. It looks like we've got just an algo fight here. So how about the NQ? Where's my NQ? The other thing about this approach is it's going to make you wait. You won't overtrade. I mean, we can all overtrade. So I'm probably much more. I'm no doubt. I'm more conservative if I'm trading live on a live stream because I wouldn't just take a flyer on anything. I don't. One thing I don't do is take flyers on full size. I'm much more prone to take a flyer on a micro. Full size, it's not worth it, right? $300 goes in one bar. You got to really like it. So, I mean, if you get through the day, 5 trades is a lot. Per market, I guess I'd say it that way. Nice, Steven. Nice. All right. Yeah, you guys are killing it. You guys will live stream one day for us. Okay, so NQ is just kind of at an interesting point. So, I mean, there's a decent example here of where that fair value gap, you know, it's kind of, you're glad that you knew it was there. It would keep you out of a trade like, oh, fuck, right? What do we do? This is the hard reality of it, right? Right to the 50, right? This was a 50. 50-50, right? Who wins, right? And this will right to ticket, right to target, I should say, excuse me. And now you're at the golden zone. So you got to find those gaps. NQ is about to break over here. Let's give that a second here. You're right at the key level here on the NQ. Let's
Order filled.
take a short on that. Very tight stop. May not get it. Do that. All right, now I'm going to tighten that up. Shit, I can't get. Yeah. See if we can get that to the other side.
Order filled.
Just take a look. So that would be in a. Here's the trade. Here, hang on. This is what I was watching right here. But when we bounced off of that, then I don't know what I got. 10 ticks, something like that. This is a lot of strength down here. It's the same issue, right? So you're right at a golden zone, right at that was the internal high. And again, where's the liquidity? Right up here. So I don't know what I got there. 10 ticks. Okay, kind of looks. You can see it. So we've got a big 3, and then you can see a 5 in here. So bull's ball, right? You can see a nice 5 going in, right? On a 1350. You guys doing anything? Good. Okay. But see, when I see that, that's just shit. That's a lot of strength there. Now, if we can blow through, let's do it. Shit, what do I want here? Oh, where are the fuckers? Here, this one. All right, so that goes on all of them. Right, so there's the pivot. So you can assume, right, there's a bunch of stops sitting right there. So how does the market deal with those? Right, does it just, blow right through them, eat them up? Right? Do they get absorbed? Do they absorb the market here? Looks like we're going to and through. So again, visualizing, what do I want to see here? I want to see it break and then come back. Right? That's what I would look for. It's just me, right? I'm saying there's a right way. Here's a break and come back, right? And whoa, wow, that's a big break. So what time is it? 10:30? Oh, I think we had some Fed speak. Could that be Fed speak? Yeah. Strength. Right back to an untested, right at a golden zone, but those are not sell me bars. 2,000 tick. Okay, so it's a little bit different here. So now we're getting pretty hot. So it's a little bit of a chase up here. I want to see a retrace. That's strength, right? So value area, fair value gap, stacked imbalance. A lot of strength in that move. So retraces would be of interest. Let's look at it over here. We'll just oh no, we had two trades here. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. All of a sudden, it's still a lower high. Here's the little pause. Double top. The book says plenty of room to go. 41.45. You got some size up here, right at that golden zone. There, we're still not a higher high. Here was the break on this side. Here, we got sidetracked, and we've got separation. Got separation on the edge, right? So that's if you're in a trade, whether you're long or short, that's what you're hoping to see, is that separation strength. Interesting, right? It's a double. Is it a true double? Let's see here. No, it is. What do we have here? We got a nice. You could really do rally base. Well, here's the order block: rally base rally. God, I gotta figure out how to do that attachment. Okay, got a contender in the NQ. Here, hang on. If we hold here, if we hold here,
ES by 500.
No, we did not hold. 1032. Does their Fed speak? There's got to be something going on there. Those are really abrupt movements. Interesting, right? Double top didn't do it. You got support here. If I could get a kicker here, then I would like it better on the long side. Turnaround bar. You know, Erwin, maybe the other thing, I think it was Ghost who was saying, what about a custom TDU Renko bar? Hang on a second. You got a lot. It's the same thing over here. You got a lot of signs of weakness. That's a good spot for an entry there if we can get it. I have to get a second. Nope. Didn't get it. Okay, so now we're right on the edge there. That's why I do this at 2.2 rather than just 2. So if I had it attached, I don't want to get wicked out there. Okay. Let's bring this over so you guys can see this. I see. I don't know. Would you guys take that? I wouldn't. I liked it. Right? Remember, I measured that out. Right? Just kind of mark this off. Oh, perfect place. Or if we go up and come back to it, but we're not getting. Maybe, right? But you got fair value gaps, right? You get gaps. You got all sorts of signs of weakness that's going to have to blow through.
Order filled.
There, because I can do it very low risk. Am I going to get the IB? Probably not. So I would target it like that. Now that's got to hold right here. That's a little retrace. Too much. Go down just a tad. What about golden zone? Where's the candle version of that? It looks like that may not live. Where's my candle? Cute shit. Where'd it go? I had it. I don't know where it went. Come on, they're trying to hold that. It's trying to hold. Shit, where is it? There it is. Nope, that's a 5. Put that up there. It's trying to hold. Where'd it go? I got MES. And then Q. There. Nope, that's not it. Jesus Christ, I had it. There it is. This is what I drew off here and trying to hold here, and we're going to need a kick or it's going to take a stop. I got two fractals down here, and it looked better on the one candle here is what I keyed up with. You might still come out of there. I need a white candle there. Come on. Look at it over here. So this was the price action. That's a trading range, so anything I got to tighten up there. I'd rather take the stop and then go again if it pushes. That's the consolidation, right? Do we have no squeeze? This is going the right direction. Looks iffy. Now, if it goes though, I would add to that. If I get a white bar here, I think I'm going to.
Stop filled.
Out. Still looking here. Well, so where would you look next? So you'd look right here at the 50. Okay, here's the swing. Let's get some of that out of there. All right. That's my green. There's our 50. So here's the swing. Here's the 50. Trend is up. We've had a bullish. The last thing we had was a little bearish chalk, which was right here on the wrong side here. Let me try that again. But I need a white candle. So you could use the internal high as a trigger.
Order submitted.
Yeah. Well, I'd take one and see if it runs. I'd take another. Rally base, rally. Order block right here, but everything is still negative. Red. But this was the thinking right here. That's where I went long. Reasonable with those wicks. Now, if we come back, here's the bitch of it, right? 50 to 50. Little micros, right? I mean, the smaller ones are the most prone to break. This is the big one. That's the swing low to swing high, but it's got a ways to go. You're going to end up with it right there. So what you'd be looking for is, okay, let's see if it reacts, and then I get a retrace. Well, then I can add, right, on the assumption here that this is going to be the pivot. What do you guys do? I find the high pretty useful. Stephen, you do? Oh, good. All right, well, I was just doing a little experimentation here. Like what would be helpful for, well, one, I think micros kind of get a bad name, and I think they're great. It's like change the market. It gives everybody a chance to participate and learn and develop and not have to risk your life savings to say, well, let's see if I can learn how to do this. And so there's a little bit of micros. All right, but Erwin and I, we talked about it, and some of the leading educators do the same type of thing of using micros. So we thought, well, at least it keeps the stress down. So you don't get into, oh, fuck, down 500, shit. I guess this guy sucks. You can just focus more on what are we doing, right? What are we really trying to do here? Demonstrate our suite of tools. I long ago decided I would never wanted to make this about me, but rather make it about customers and members. Some people like that, some people don't. All right, well, I can certainly see that we're in an area where a prior consolidation. Oh shit, did I miss that? It's not possible I missed that. Is it? No, it's green. So how is that still green? That shows me a 1031. We had that. But it's still green, so I guess we didn't. Oh, because I can actually, that's how. So we didn't break it. Well, if you were gonna be a buyer, you're right smack dab in the middle. These are not to be ignored. Right? That's a good little spot there. So I'm willing to get long there. What have I got? 1350. Well, just one here on the 1350, we're below the 21 McGinley, so that's negative. Whereas this is the bar that I triggered long on, right? So green trigger rolls over. But just as a general, what side of the market do I want to be on? The McGinley or an EMA, it doesn't have to be a McGinley. EMA is going to be close. It's kind of a useful guide. It's what I was trying to do here with this. Again, we call it a trailing stop, but it's just an ATR marker. Here's the box. Interesting that the basing period here, our order block, is right in the middle of the measured move. Better. Now you can see all of this resistance here. It's got a clear. We can apply some price action here. Is that our channel? Clear 5. Not really a clear 3, but you paused here, so this would be your consolidation. Well, we didn't get a white candle. You guys on the NQ, I wouldn't sell it, but I wouldn't buy it either. Not yet. Next thing we got to clear here is this value area, which plus the pre-high, pretty good resistance. I don't love this right at the 50, but see if we can get one to fly here. That we will convert, right? So this will flip. You're going to anticipate, right? So I would be, unless there's news, I'm anticipating there's going to be a reaction there. So that's potentially your opportunity to add. I'd like to see these start to turn over. Oh, let's see. How about ES? Anything here that looks interesting? So we've got this set. I got to keep these up so I don't lose them. Okay, what's happening over here? I'm going south. Trend is down, and the last thing we've had is the bearish chuck. So here's the last break. Looking for, where's our break of structure? Oh, we're going to hit the IB. We might. This was the double top up here. And so we can't call it a higher high. Q's starting to rally a little bit. Okay, with the ES, we can use this. Bullish. Oh shit. I don't have enough data on this. Well, here, this we can use it. We get like data series. I don't know. Signs of strength here, good sign. Big delta push. Now don't let this head fake you, because that can change in intra-bar. All right, well, we're going to find out on the NQ if it means business. Let's get over here. Do we like this? Order block, good sign. Trend still, right? That's just not a higher high, but we're in between. So we're in a, here's our last low, here's our last high. No advantage there. To get long in the NQ as we're flipping. I'm about to flip. We don't flip here. I think we are.
Order filled.
Okay, now let's go right up to that last swing low. I'm going to go a little higher. I'm going to go to the chalk. Let's see if that can clear that golden zone. If so, then I would add to it. You know, there's the golden zone. Shit, it's hard to Mix and match here. I'm going to come up to that. Okay, right to the golden zone where we're pausing. Oh, that's annoying. All right, those little fuckers that did exactly what you'd anticipate. Went right to it, turned. Now we got to go with a second try at it. Where am I over here? Let's put this up. Still in the river, that's only negative. Okay, there's the push. Let's see if we can get through. Tighten up the stop right at the golden zone. Then you got a fair value gap there. See if we can get to the IB high. What we're doing over here. That's gonna have a hard time breaking that. You got fair value gaps galore. Tighten up to the pre-high. That's what I would do if it was full size. We either carry on here or that's going to snap back. Got all good candles here. Went right here, right to it. We got a fair value gap here. You know, they're struggling with it. Good sign. Got another one here I got to deal with. I don't have anything to trade, so I'm just going underneath the McGinley. You know, that's what the NASDAQ does pay well, I will say that, right? When you're right, but it stings when you're wrong. Now, we're not, this isn't, well, full size, what would you, oh, fuck. Uh-oh, let's see. $28 ticks. Come under that. Now let's go break even here. Be ultra conservative. If I was in a single on the full size, I'd continue like this. Right? I'd just keep it tight, so at least I lock something in here. Can I get to the IB? Well, here's a big value area that hasn't cleared. Let's stay break even. I could get there. So if you're looking at it, oh shit. Looking at it here, right? So let's do this here. Let's use our tool. Let's go to the trailing stop. God damn it! I gotta figure out how to attach that. Attach. Is it right there? Oh, there it is. Attach to indicator. Shit. I don't want to do that while I'm in the middle of something. I knew there was a way to do it. Could be overly optimistic there. Let's go up just a tad. You know, when you say, well, I wouldn't because of, that's often why. It's going to hit something. They always do. Now, this would be a negative, right? So I've got a fractal that's just formed there. So we're running out of steam here. You know, again, in a micro, if I can let it fly. But this is a reasonable way to go because it's very tempting to think, oh, shit, here, let's just take it, right? Which is a temptation. You want to try and master that because you're better to take the small loser here because if it runs, you know, you can say, shit, there's only so many runs per day. And if it runs and you missed it, you know, because you wanted to lock in your 20 ticks, you know, you got to ask yourself, right? What are you after? I can just tell you with micros, something like this, you need the big run. Or your day is just a lot of, you know, 50 cents here, $3 here. You need a runner. So because I'm only in a single, I probably should have done two here. So you could take one off it. Where's the obvious resistance? Well, okay, right into that big fair value gap, right? Likely. What's the assumption? There's unfilled orders there. That's the assumption, right? And first time back to it is, you know, the most potent. Swing retraced above the McGinley. I wouldn't add, right? So you had, there's no reason to add with that weakness. So you may just take the stop and go, okay, next. Let's see if I can get the next one to run. You're right into that. There we go. We might get a little kick on that. So what did we hit here? Anything? I get some imbalance there. Oh shit! What's my snowflake? Trap traders? It is trap. I think my snowflake is. What is my snowflake? Jeez, I have to check the list here. We got so many of them now. I think that's trap traders. All right, so we could come up to the McGinley. This is going to be a bitch to get through. Right to the imbalance. It's a potential add here if we can get another strong bar. I'm not sure if we can avoid getting stopped here. Because you have this pause. You know, this is when I started, right? The advantage of the Heikinashi is you get the little pause. Where I have two bars here, and then if I can get a full shadowless, no fractal kicker, right, then you got a good shot that gets at least up to the IB again, where you have more liquidity. May not, right? You can see what it's dealing with. Let's look at the book. Plenty of size up above, actually. 15 and 15 has got, well, that's all this, right? You can see the order, the resting orders. If you look in the book, you can see the resting orders in there, right here. They're looking for the other side of that. Oh, we might have been too optimistic there. Full size, that's what I would have done, right? Since I didn't get the push here, I'd assume likely we're going to chop for a while. And that's just underneath the fractal, right? So here's the fractal right here. You come down to it. Here's the fractal. I would go again if it goes out. Let's get into this as well. Give it a chance. Maybe there's a reaction right here. What's my momentum telling me? We're good here. We didn't get outside. We would like to have seen this get outside. I'd go again if it gets stopped. Right, if we just come back to here and we hold. And I remember the blue is my ATR. Well, as soon as this trade's over here, I'm going to go through. I think I can hotkey it to set it up. Got to clear this. Right, that exhaustion print, not a great sign. See, I think it's better also in micros to not look at the dollars, because then you're like, fuck, $20, big deal. If you focus on the points, then you detach from that result. Oh, I got 36 ticks here. Okay, decent trade. You know, do your own math on full size. I think that's part of the problem why people get bored with micros. Like, fuck, $50, big fucking deal. Yeah, but you know, it's a great way to refine your technique. Or if you have a new indicators, or maybe so, I don't know if we have people watching here. It looks like it's usually our regs. You know, we have a really solid group of regs. By the way, I really appreciate you guys, because I can't always be in here all the time, because I think half the people in here don't know that I run an entirely different, separate business over on TDU. So I kind of go back and forth. So I appreciate you guys, Ghost and Art Vandalay, and I am the Money, and Justin Noob, who's been a great new addition to the lineup here. Really, you guys, you take the room when I'm not around. I appreciate that. All right, so this is kind of going to plan. There's the. Well, so you see that little, you know, for you that are maybe don't use Heikinashi, I will say this: you got to trade them for about a week to get used to it. It's different. It's much like a Renko, right? You got to get used to, okay, what is it that I see that's useful to me, right? Just like these little pauses, these little pauses can be quite good. This just when I'm going back and forth, lots of wicks. Oh, okay, trading range. It's not hard to spot it. Okay, there's the trading range, and it's a squeeze. From contraction comes expansion. Just the same shit here. Here it is again, right? See, this is I sort of got this. This may be the greatest indicator ever discovered. From contraction, look at the edge. Contraction, expansion. Contraction, expansion. Why would you I shouldn't say it that way. Why would you not want that on your chart? Well, why would you? I mean, I have it 12 different ways I can get it so I don't miss it. In case I'm not using the edge, because I'm not always using the edge, right? Because I demo lots of different things. Why would you not want to know about that? It's hard for me to understand that. Okay, so here we got a nice, here's your price action rule. Here's the trend. Here's the break of the trend. Here's the push to a new high. So look what just happened, right? The trend just went up. So here's the break of structure. Now, what is the first thing we think when we have a break of structure? Not, oh, balls to the wall long. Oh, I'm looking for the retrace, because that's how it moves, right? Here's the last break. Oh, what a good example. Look at this, right? Here's the last break of structure right here. What happened immediately after we retrace 50% to where we get the, right? Do you see that? I mean, I can't make this shit up. It just does it, right? Golden zone, order block, boom, other side of the ATR. I can't make this up. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm not saying this, oh, fuck, just follow this. Trading's easy. Far from it. But we got to look for opportunities where we see, what is that? That's pattern recognition. Oh, I've seen that before. Wicks, right? Shadows, wicks, right? That's what you're looking for. That's the why Heikinashi. That's why, right? Oh, I get a little glimmer. If you don't have a footprint chart, I get a little glimmer into what's happening there. Where was that? That was right here. So NQ, yeah, that was right here. Right? That's where we had the back and forth. How are we doing there, guys? 14-point NQ on break to new session highs. Oh, you guys are just doing it. I love to see you guys having good results. Okay, so here's a retest right at where we got fair value gap. Now, does that say buy me? Maybe not right there. I'm kind of sad I didn't take two there. All right, what do we got up above? NQ, where did it pop that? This is something's not right there. That is the first test of the IB. That's 1031. I don't know. Yeah, did we not trade there? Yeah, we traded there. I don't know what's up there. Oh, no, that's right. I thought maybe I had it set and I was looking at crude the other day. That could be a little bug there. Surprised that was still green there. All right, natural support, right? We see this every day, every fucking day, right? How much time does it spend? It probably spends more time grinding the IB rails than anything else. Now, you're kicking back. You got to go right into that imbalance, right? You look here. Oh, shit. Okay, we flipped, but that's like, I wouldn't take, it's too far to go, and you'd be buying right into where's the liquidity, right? Right into it. This is actually always a little bit of a conundrum that we have to deal with here. Okay, so as we just think, so if you're approaching this with some method in mind rather than just reacting to what you see, you would not be taking that trade, because here's the swing. We want to buy in the discount zone, which happens to be right here at this consolidation. So even though that's tempting to say, oh, fuck, man, look, it's holding, it's going to go. If you have a trading plan, right, it's tied to, oh, okay, well, market structure, I only buy, which would be a reasonable thing. So if you were writing your trading plan, wouldn't it perhaps be something that would occur to you as you're putting that out ideally? Oh, okay, well, one thing that I always focus on is that I buy in the discount zone below the 50%. Maybe not in your trading plan, but if I'm because I've been working on this trading plan stuff we're doing for the brown belt. So like, you have to have some consistency, because otherwise you're reacting. There's no pre-planning. Okay, I'm looking here. I have a method. I take the swing. I wait for the retrace. I wait. I don't care how juicy that looks. I don't deviate from my plan. This is the separation between people who are consistently successful and people are trying something a little, let's try a little of that, a little of this. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Let's just, we start the day and let's see what the market does. There needs to be some structure to what you're doing, or you'll just flap. You'll have maybe a good day, bad day, but you can't repeat it. I guess that's what I'm trying to get to. What you do has to be repeatable, and you have to be able to respond to the kind of day you get. Now, this is a decent day. I wouldn't call this a rip roaring. Look at the IB range. I mean, are we rip roaring here? I mean, NQ, right? Here's the whole day. Here's your whole day right here. All right, we got up to the high of it. This is a little bit of, this is what retail does. Oh, look, it broke the high. It's just going to keep going. It's just going to keep going. Okay, it could. But this was the theme of my Bitcoin Friday video. Hope is not a trading plan. There's plan A, there's plan B, there's no plan H. That was my title. By the way, I think I'm out of 3,000 videos. Do you realize I have to come up with a different title every single video? That is not easy to do. It can't be, Bitcoin, I don't know. The O-face guys, God, that is just so degrading. I don't care how many clicks that got me. I refuse to do it. Do I even have my camera on? I guess I do. This one. Bitcoin. Fuck. Who would do that? You couldn't pay me enough. Well, shit, I just did it. You couldn't pay me enough money to take that picture and put it on YouTube. You could not. Well, I guess you could pay me enough money, but I wouldn't. It would have to be a lot. Yet, that's what gets clicks. I refuse to click on them, actually, just in protest. I'm just an old fart. What do I know? I'm not of the digital generation. I think Ghost and I are the old farts in here, because, and maybe Art Vandelay as well. Steven, I don't know how old you are, but I know Ghost. We have the same taste in music, and he gets my jokes, which are you got to be old to get them. All right, where are we? NQ. What time is it? 11:04. I mean, there can't. The other thing where there's value is at the end of the day. This is always Renko. This is similar. At the end of the day, if you look at a Renko chart, it's like, oh fuck, I just buy it here and sell it here. It's very frustrating because it's so easy after the fact, right? Is this not easy after the fact? Because this is what we do in our mind's eye. We go, oh well, I wouldn't have traded in here. Right, because obviously, right, we're just going sideways. But I would have taken that short, right? Oh, because here, right? And then, I'd have taken that long here because I had this nice little setup here. Okay, well, so what are you going to do with that the next day? All right, are you going to build some sort of a strategy around it? What are you going to do the next day after you look at this and go, holy fuck, look how easy that was. All I had to do was buy at the open and then sell when we put in the opening range high. And well, I wouldn't have traded here and I'd have been short here. And then as soon as that thing flipped, I'd have been long, of course. And once we hit the IB, I would have been short. And then, well, perfect, here I'd have been long. But we do that, right? And then whether you're doing it consciously or subconsciously, you're doing it. So you got to look at it and say, well, how can I use this? How can what I see here? I mean, shit doesn't have to be tomorrow. Look at today. And many of you you prefer time based, right? That's fine. There is no magic answer here. There's no right number. It's whatever you are comfortable with. It's like the 2000 tick, right? Which is kind of it's like a proxy for a 1 minute, right? But I've just traded it for so long. That's my default. Like if I was under pressure and like, fuck, man, I really got to make some money today, I would go to the 2000 tick ES. That's just what I know and what I'm comfortable with. Where it was interesting that, who was it yesterday? I think maybe it was just a noob. Because I find the NQ, which, boy, I love it when you're right, but God, it stings when you're wrong. If you're trading the full size, when it happens, it moves so fast. I find it much more squirrely. But that could just be because I'm used to staring at the ES. If you've been I have many members and other educators, guys that are in the same, do the same thing I do. They talk about the NQ. NQ is where I get paid, man. NQ is, that thing rocks. That's really my focus. I'm always just a little bit surprised by that, but I guess I understand, because when you're right, it does move. All right, do we want to buy this here? Okay, this is red, but climbing in the river, divergence below the ATR. Now, what are we doing, right? Which is what I was just talking about. We're riding. This is grinding. I always think of like a skateboarder. It goes back to the same, park rail, step rail, where he grinds all day, right? You see those kids. Shit, my kids are too old now, but the skateboarders, they go back to the same place. They grind that rail all day long, right? And we do the same thing in here. We grind the rail at the IB, right? So because it's a battle, are we trending or are we going to stay range bound? Oh, let's see here. What do I got? Let's see what's going on over here. So I don't bore you guys. NQ, grinding the rail. So that's nothing really. Well, okay, do you want to chase this here? Let's see if we can put this in context, right? So we're about to break the ATR. Okay, so did you wait for the discount? Not quite. We're still in the river. That's red. It's tempting, right? It's tempting to say, "Oh, I'm going to chase that." Well, that's interesting. It looks like a P&L. We've got the value area here, and then a value area right on top of it, green followed by red. Okay, is there any question about where the liquidity is? Some people do it, right? I've lost so much money testing, trying, working that. Now we talk about trading plan. That is a hard rule for me. I don't care how fucking far it goes. I don't care what happens. I do not buy highs and sell lows. I do not do it. Shit, here we got one. I guess we got 3 trades here. As I said, maybe five, 6 trades a day is about really, well, certainly if you're trading micros, that's about all the market gives you. Let's get back to the ES here. Even though I know you guys love the micro, love the NQ. Rotation. Where are we on the day? This was the first attempt, right? That's a pretty wicked double top. Trend is down per market structure. Lower high. Stays. Right now you're in the contraction phase, which is heads up, right? So you look here. These are not to be ignored, right? Contraction, right? Look. Squeeze. Neutral here. A little slightly bearish bias, but sensing it's lower lows, lower highs all day until we get to our contraction. Now that could be a result of this. Williams speaking. Market is so on edge. I don't know what they're more nervous about, default or. Everybody seems pretty damn sure we're not going to default. I'm not so sure. I'm not that sure. I think we're that divided. That so much political theater goes into it. I'm not so sure they wouldn't do it just to see what happens. Not to get political. Hey, it's Discord's birthday today. NQ bucking the downtrend to the other indexes. Perfect day again for live trading. I know, man. It's the curse of the live stream. It's like yesterday. Yesterday's an interesting example, right? You had a couple of big moves, and then this, right? I took a couple of trades in here and scratch, small loser. I said, "Fuck, this is," it was all of this, and I just said, "Done for the day." But that's kind of what I meant. And actually, yesterday's a good example, right? You had an early trend, and you had what's that till 1 o'clock. Probably another one here, and then all of this was just untradeable, right? You can't. Well, certainly micros can't make money there. Not dramatically better here, right? So you edge, right? You would give the edge to the bears here. We're in a squeeze only because of where the ATR is. It looks like that's about to change. Curse of the micro or the live stream is real. Okay, trend is down. We had last thing that happened is we had a bearish chalk. We can all. Well, this is probably worth tapping into as well. Although you could bring that down as long as I don't get into bodies. Might look at it that way. So what's if you were a market maker and you could do this, grab liquidity. So you can on the rest that's trend line liquidity, they call that, which makes sense, right? So you could anticipate that there are stops because we're not the only ones who can draw that trend line. Whether it's 2,000 tick or 2 minute or 5 minute, it's going to be close, right? The 2,000 is kind of a proxy for it. Look at the NQ. Yeah, the NQ is strong. What's Bitcoin doing? Kind of an odd little pump that Bitcoin did. It wasn't very impulsive, but it traveled some distance. Holy shit, are we going to sit here in this triangle for the... Well, I don't know. I'll talk to Erwin and we'll see if he wants to focus on a different indicator. We've done a lot of footprint, which is, that's certainly our most full-featured indicator because there's so much to it. Let's go back to the NQ, see if there's anything we can deduce from this. Well, here's the range we're in. So after pretty good push, consolidation, Europe about to close, not quite yet. See, if you look here, it's like, okay, this is, it's like this. Right? Just careful there, right? So, okay, something could come out of there, but again, where's the discount zone? Right here. Boy, something I don't do that is taught. It surprises me. I never sit with a limit order here. I've tested it. It's way too much shit can happen. And I want to see, if it gets here, I want to see the reaction. Rather than just go, oh, well, fuck, it's going to stop there. Now, this is intriguing right there. Okay, that was the pause before the launch. So this would be an intermediate order block, I guess you'd call that. Did we get target? Jesus Christ. Shit I can't make up. Can't make that up. To the tick. All right, so if you're trading the measured move here, you would have waited to clear that. Would I have taken it past the IB? No, I wouldn't have. So that would have been first target, but there's 72 ticks. Target, 142 ticks. I know it's annoying after the fact to go, well, that was right there. Look at all it had to clear, right? All this fair value gaps, right? Pause, 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 and it goes. Well, well, for anyone who's looking for the next trade, if we come down here, that would be, there's the last low that we launched from. This would be in the discount. You got a pivot here of significance, pre-market high. We know the market. So you've got a pretty nice, I'll probably have to leave it here. I always struggle with this thing. You got to start, your first tick has to be, your first click has to be your stop. You have to do it that way. Okay, so we're going, what do you got up there? There's 5 to 1. Oh, maybe we'll get this here. Note where we are with the ATR. All gray bars. Here's our discount. Well, so now as that approaches it, that's when I would go to the, excuse me, I'd go to the footprint. The internal low is splitting it right at a supply zone. So ideally, you get a little reaction down here. Well, there's the 5th ship. If you wait for the golden zone, often it'll pop at the 50. Oh, it looks like it's going to. Shit.
Order filled.
Grab one there. Okay, here's what I saw here. All right, we'll come right back here to where here's the order block, order block. Now, full size, I'm definitely going to do that. There's the weak high, right? Weak high. That's the 50, so it's a slight front run on the 50. Fair value gap, extended POC, golden zone on the other side, right? So there's plenty of things to be cautious about here. Let's open this up so we can see the bid ask a little bit better. It's good. Right? Here's our value area. See all the strong imbalances here. So it's, all the ingredients are there. So, you know, kind of as I was talking about before, if you came back to look at this, okay, so did you wait for the 50? Not quite. Very strong buy bar. Got to clear the POC. How are you guys doing? And Q bounce right off the McGinley. I don't know what you use. Do you use a 21? I don't know what some of you guys use time based. All right, well, there's 9 ticks, so right to the POC, right? So right to that. So that's a reasonable first target. Let's come down just a hair there. On the other side where that imbalance is here, in that value area. Trap traders don't want to see that. So if it's full size, I'm up here. Why take the risk, right? What do I want? I want a runner. Might be a little much here. I'll get it that. Just a little more room. I want this to stay, right? So now I might add there if we get on the other side of that, going for that to try and get that spread right there. Don't focus on the money, focus on the technique. That's a good sign. Trying, golden zone, you know you're going to get a reaction there. We are in a squeeze. Thank you, we're on a squeeze. We did get divergence here, so all the ingredients are there. Right? That's a trade, profit, loss. You know, it's a trade I would take 10 out of 10 times. Wanted that a little bit lower. It's interesting how they stop right where you. Why is that line there? Right? It's amazing it stopped there. We don't want to see that. Those trap traders there. There we go. That's a good. second slot. That's potentially, you got a exhaustion print. I wonder if we can get some legs here. When I came right to the ATR band, it didn't flip. There's got to be a close through it to get that to flip.
Stop fill.
Oh. Let's revisit over here. Didn't get the flip. That would have been right. So what did it do? It went right to the golden zone, right to where you knew the resistance was and couldn't get through it. So looking at that, lower high, lower high. If we take this out, we're going down. This would be the next area of interest. Let's see if we can hold. So what are we doing? It's like that kid went back to the park to grind his favorite stair rail. Now, if we can, what is it, 1122? They're going to take another run at that. Well, you've got, do you see we got fractals on either side? So it's an indecision area, which is not surprising. We're right at the IB, grinding the IB. This is where the ATR flips right at that golden zone, which is, they're annoying, right? These micro golden zones are annoying, right? They will cock block your trade, right? You think, oh, I got it. It's got to clear it. Especially time of day. Now we're kind of losing the juice that moves the market. We could go dormant now till the afternoon. Whoa, if I can get a white candle here, I'd go again. You do have, right, again, things not to ignore. That's a low volume node. These are, that's the prior pivot here. And then this being just no business was done here. We went a little early here. I mean, it's part of it. It's boring. There's no trades going off.
Order filled.
And just very tight stop, right? So either we go or we don't, right? Either it goes here, that's very little risk. Let's see if we can get a little bit. 21. We're still in a squeeze. That's the downside. It's a good sign here. Exhaustion print. These, look for these, right? You want to look for, it's like, okay, all the sellers out, everybody get what they wanted. Oh, okay, good. Exhaustion print. You'll find them often at turns in the market. Here's one down here, or at pivot highs. We got to get to the other side of that. This is the cocksucker right here. I shouldn't say that because we might have women on here. This is what's blocking the trade right here. So you could say, oh, is it the imbalance here? No, I promise you that is the algo. Got to get on the other side of that. Well, let's see. We're in an algo box. I'll give that a little bit more room. Algo box. What do? Well, what side of McGinley on? We're kind of neutral here. There's a push for it. Can they get through, right? And remember, it has to close through. Good sign, right? So all we're going to hit, this is the target right here. 7, 10, so if you're in a full size, are you taking it? It's probably, if I was in bigger size, I'd probably, 10 ticks I would take. Did we flip it? We haven't flipped it yet. You're right. So then we got an order block right here. You're right in that. They can be really frustrating, right? So we only have wick going through. I know you can't see that. That's annoying. Here's the fair value gap, right? Which is often, right? So that's, you got to look at that and say, that's a place you could sell it. You could sell it right here. But what side of the McGinley are we on? Right, okay, so you give slight edge to the bulls. This looks to me like rotation, like this is not going to fly. We still, right, we haven't flipped this yet, right? We need a bigger push here to close on the other side of it, and this has to break, or this is going nowhere. This will just come back down. They're trying. The book is open. There's room to go up there to 35. 35 is open. Let's use 35. So here you guys, I know, right? Showing it's not a competitive product. It's not an inexpensive product, right? So here's 35. So you got the sizes up here. Can we get there in time? Maybe not. Looks like probably not. All right, just looks like this is just rotation, right? So here we go. Up, down, up, down, up, down, rotation. And here's the. Is it worth holding on to, right? So after a while, the time is a factor in your trades, right? If it doesn't do what you were anticipating pretty damn soon, all right, there we go. There's a break. So we got to close now here. Did we flip it? Not yet. Good looking bar, right? That's what you want, right? Big imbalances the whole way. Oh, let's go to that POC. So what are you going to do? How are you going to manage that? Full size, that's what I'm doing. Right under the low, right at the McGinley. It's overly optimistic, maybe. We got close, right? So why do I push it higher? Because we got close and didn't. So that if it pushes again, they'll have to break this. So this is what they're going to deal with, right? The POC up here. Oh, full size, I'd tighten. I would tighten. Now I would definitely tighten. POC might hold it. Why stay with it? Because we need runners. We need runners. You gotta let some run. Now we're kind of running out of time. Not just, I mean, by when I'm going to stop here. We usually go till 11:30, but it's going to get slower at 11:30. Well, Europe's just about to close. Yeah, I may have been a little optimistic there. But 35 is a good target because that's what we can see in the order book. This is a good sign here. Good sign, good sign. Oh, I don't want to give that back. Come on, let's get that. At least let's get the first target. If we don't get it, it's going to... We have it here, still don't.
Target filled.
Target filled.
All right, there's the first one. So now, right, knowing we need runners, I just put it where I see size in the book. And just so this is just a free trade. Look, we're still in the squeeze, right? Which is, partly I'm taking that because you guys I don't want to bore you guys. I usually don't, take a squeeze trade, but that was a decent bar here. It's probably a good opportunity to demo a few things. So let's see how that plays with the order book. Do they go up and get those? Again, this is not, you don't have to have bookmap, right? It's a luxury. Well, so there's they're trying, right? So there's the push. That's 35. Is that? Yeah, it is. Oh, I was looking at 50, I think. I was looking at 45, it must have been. Or at least they moved this while I was looking. So here would be a reasonable target because there's size up here. This, by the way, is the NQ, not the MNQ. Okay, they ate through all of that. So some of these got pulled. Some of these they ate right through, right? I always think of like Pac-Man, gobble, gobble, gobble. They just take them all and keep going. That's what you want to see. So could we get 35? Let's lock in a little more underneath that order block, right? This was the resistance here. I was a little overly optimistic. That was the break of structure here. Right, so what did we get? Break of structure. What are we anticipating next? Retrace. So I'm probably overstayed my welcome here. Oh, I just missed it. We flipped. Now I could bring it back here and just stay right on the ATR and say, okay, well, let's see if we can get that runner. 3550 is a little, oh, you might have this play. Here's the, ooh, look at that. Actually, I'm pretty sure we do have that. There's the target. You gonna get it? You left an order block, or pardon me, a fair value gap here. No, pardon me, order block. Order block right here. I just miss it. But we need runners, so attach to that, or you don't have to attach, right? It's just kind of convenient. I used to do that a lot when I was trading multiple markets all the time. Stay a tick underneath it. We're out of the squeeze now. So the potential here would be, okay, here's the during the squeeze. Right now we come back. Do we get that? Remember again, discount. Oh, where's the discount of this range? Right at the 50. Back to the 50. Too green. You'd want to be out on that.
Order filled.
Let's close that, right? So we just missed. Shit. Just missed it by a tick, literally one tick. I didn't see it until I measured from here. All right, so there you go. I don't know. Shit, I hope you guys get something out of these. It's a lot of me talking, right? But there weren't that many trades. I don't know that we missed many. We probably missed one or two. All right, so I guess we'll call that a wrap. By the way, this is something you can do. Erwin just showed me this because I used to go, God, I wish I could have that on all my charts. If you draw them and you go to properties, you can attach it to all the charts. He just showed me that. I'm using Ninja for God knows how many years. I just noticed that, or he just showed me that. Okay, now look at the selling coming off of that high. All right, now we're breaking this side of it. God damn, I missed that. That makes me mad. I missed that by a tick. Just missed it. Where do we go back to? IB, right? This was the launch point. Back to the IB. All right, that's probably enough. I know these can be boring. Okay, guys, I guess, let's see. So I'll talk to Erwin and see if he wants to tee up a different indicator, if he wants to stay with footprint or something that he's using, or maybe something that he's working on. I know he's making progress on the new PATS indicator. So we'll do that. Okay, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. Right? I hope you guys are having a good day, and maybe you pick up just a tiny little nugget, or I know some of you guys don't need me. But we have a lot of new people that might be watching, and there's lots of people that watch quietly, like, oh, shit, how do I use these things? How do I use these things? All right, guys, have a good one. I'll be back on Thursday.